Hurricane Beulah produced 115 tornadoes in 5 days in Texas. The major wind damage from Gilbert is much more likely to come from the hurricane itself, not from the tornadoes, although they do, of course, remain a threat. And what any hurricane spawns is a lot of questions. Where will it go? Where will the big rain hit? Will it return to the ocean? Correspondent Bernard Goldberg is at the National Hurricane Center in Coral Gables, Florida tonight. A short time ago, I talked with him about the hurricane's future activity.
Well, Dan, first of all, they're saying that Gilbert is like a spinning top and it's going to take some time before it spins all the way down. Now, let me give you those numbers. Hurricane force winds over parts of Mexico for the next 6 to 8 hours. Hurricane force winds over parts of Texas could last up until about midnight. Heavy rains, this is important, heavy rains for the next 24 to 36 hours. They're worried about more tornadoes. They're worried, of course, about flooding. But it may not be too early, Dan, to start looking for the silver lining in all of this. The forecasters say that the hurricane is going to move on through Texas, into Oklahoma, and then into the Midwest. Not torrential rains, but as one person around here put it, a good, healthy rain. Now, if that happens, that could be very good news for the farmers who've been suffering through the summer's drought.
And when will the hurricane finally fizzle?
Well, the worst of it is going to be over the next 24 to 36 hours, but the rains could actually continue into the middle of next week and actually fizzle out all the way up into Canada.
Thanks, Bernie. Why was this originally called potentially the hurricane of the century? Because at one time its winds were gusting to above 200 miles an hour, because it was so many hundreds of miles in size, and because it drove the barometer so low. Normal barometric pressure at sea level is 29.92. The lowest ever officially recorded is believed to be 25.69, typhoon tip 1979. Gilbert's 26.13, recorded in the early stages, is the lowest ever around North America, and that's why the Weather Bureau was so worried. The barometric pressure of the hurricane at last report, 28.17. It never regained its worst full force after hitting the Yucatan and never made its expected turn north in the open Gulf after that. Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, the hurricane bores into Mexico where many communities had little warning.
And liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.